And welcome to another Mark Bishop show. You know, many global consumers are ready to celebrate the holidays again. However, a wider set of economic and political issues took center stage this past year. New risks and uncertainties loom over their plans. Now, according to the annual Global Holiday Shopping and Travel Report, this is released by IBM's Institute for Business Value, nearly half of consumers surveyed will spend less if inflation continues to drive prices and increases. And the mixing of rising prices and decreased availability of inventory means that when consumers shop, it's just as important as where. So our special guest is Karl Haller. He's partner, Consumer Center of Competency Leader at IBM Consulting. Welcome, Karl.
Thank you for having me on today. It's great to be here.
So, what are consumers most worried about this coming holiday season in your mind?
So it's been an interesting twist after the last couple of years of these studies. This is the first year since 2019 that COVID has not been top of mind for consumers. You know, 2/3 are worried less about COVID than they were last year, but 6 in 10 are worried more about the economy than they were last year. And you know, I look at that as good news and bad news. It's not great that people are worried about the economy, and there are definitely things to be worried about with the economy. But on the whole, I think consumers would rather worry about the economy than worry about, you know, going out and having you or a loved one get sick or potentially have to go to the hospital. Consumers just want to have a normal holiday. We haven't had a normal holiday season since 2019. So in general, from our survey, we saw that consumers want to shop, they want to travel, they want to go out to eat, they want to see a movie or a show, or just visit with friends and family. They have, in general, the consumer has money to spend. Savings rates were well up throughout COVID, and they're looking to spend it. The consumers said they were planning to spend about 8% more in holiday shopping this year than last year, and almost 50% more on holiday travel than they spent last year.
So, in your mind, how are companies responding then to the changes in these consumer demands?
So they respond, frankly, the way I always see, you know, retailers and travel companies respond, which is that when consumers shift their behavior, the industry has to react, and they have to react fast. So 3 areas is we've seen, you know, this return to travel and return to shopping in store. So that is requiring the retailers and travel companies to make sure they have, you know, product available, flights and hotel reservations and dinner reservations available, and the staff to work at those frontline jobs and to serve the needs of the customers. The other thing is we're seeing, at least on the retail side, we're seeing a lot of discounting, and we're seeing the holiday season move much earlier. We've seen Black Friday sales starting in the middle of October. I was out in stores this weekend and visiting mall stores, and I saw discounts of 30 to 40% off. Some stores were even up to 50 or 60% off. So a lot of those discounts that don't tend to come until much later in the holiday season or post-Christmas are happening earlier. And frankly, if you have money and a will and an ability to spend, there are some great deals out there.
Well, of course, those embracing the uncertainty are leaning into technology, right? Like hybrid cloud and artificial intelligence. It's going to win loyalty and sales during this season. What are some of the biggest priorities for consumers shopping, do you think, and traveling this holiday season?
So, you know, that's one of the things I was starting to get into is this, you know, the consumer wants to get out and shop, and they want to get out and spend. They do have some concerns, and they're certainly ready with backup plans. You know, we started to look at what different types of consumers were saying in terms of their intended spending. And what we found was that there was one group of consumers who are pretty much the most well off and who came through COVID probably in better financial shape than they started out. We called them the secure, and they're planning to spend regardless of what happens. And that's about 1 in 5 consumers. The other 80%, they're also planning to spend, but they're ready in case something happens, whether that's inflation or the economy overall, or some level of disruption, or increase in COVID cases, or something happening in the supply chain where they can't get goods. They're ready to go to plan B or plan C or even plan D.
Well, do you think businesses, obviously, they're being impacted by consumers' shift in shopping and travel decisions. When you're talking to them, what are you getting back?
The things that we tend to talk to businesses about a lot are the need for more agility in their operations. We certainly felt that throughout COVID. And I think even as we go forward and as we approach what I'll call the post-COVID economy, and I should knock on wood because I feel like I don't want to jinx us moving into post-COVID economy, we believe that there will still be a need for businesses to constantly monitor what's happening with consumers and have an ability to react, and to be able to do that sometimes hour by hour, day by day, and to react differently in different neighborhoods. Just like the weather doesn't, impacts everyone, but doesn't impact everyone everywhere in the same way. The retailers need to understand what the conditions are at neighborhood by neighborhood around the country, and be able to react, whether that is having more staff or fewer staff in a store, whether that's adjusting a price up or down, or adding a promotion or taking away a promotion, or whether that's to move product around such that they have the right product in the right place, for the demand that exists from consumers. And so a lot of our work at IBM is focused around helping retailers and brands harness and act on all of that data and information that's out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have a very interesting role there, Karl. Partner Consumer Center of Competency Leader at IBM, correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I get the benefit of working with a lot of different brands and retailers.
Fabulous, yeah. It'd be interesting reading. Is there a lot on the site? People, if you'd like to go, more information can be gleaned. That's at www.ibm.com/IBV. Is that right?
That's correct.
So if I go on that, what can I expect, Karl? Give us an idea.
I'm sorry, if you go on the site.
If I go on the site to try and understand more of what, you're involved in and what you do with retail, does it explain it all there?
So that's where we host all of our studies on consumers, on retail, on brands, on travel, and essentially every business. We're constantly out studying the market for every business, because our clients span, the biggest companies in every business across the world.
Wow, fascinating. Gee, worldwide as well, I tell you what. Very interesting indeed, Karl. It's going to be an interesting season too, so you take care out there. Karl Haller, Partner, Consumer Center of Competency Leader at IBM Consulting, shared with us this morning what's going on. And look, if there was one last takeaway you'd like to share with us, Karl, what would that be?
If you haven't made your travel plans yet, you should go out and book them, because everything's filling up fast.
Are prices going to come down for travel, mate? The airline's still, rather rough.
That I can't predict.
All right. Thank you, Karl. You have a great week and keep up the good work.
Thank you. You too.